Right, welcome back, guys. We are once again doing the Python Crash Course book. We are in chapter 4. We're now on example 7 called threes. What it wants us to do is make a list of the multiples of 3 from 3 to 30 and using a for loop to print the numbers in that list. So let's get started. Making a new file, saving it as. Alright, so we're gonna comment it out like usual. And we're gonna come down here and we're just gonna say these are multiples of 3 list. And so we're gonna make the list of numbers. We're just gonna call this list multiples, and then we're gonna create this list by hand just so it's slightly easier. All right, so this should give us our multiples list. So now when we write our for statement, so if we say for value in multiples, and we come down here, we can say, oh, I did this wrong. For values in range, not multiples. So we don't want to access the list quite yet. So we want this to be range 1 through 11. Hold on. This is confusing me. So if we were to go through this and we were to say multiples is equal to, or value or multiple, yeah, multiple is equal to value times 3, and then we were to say multiple dot R. I think we can just say print multiple. So if we save this and run it, let's see what this does. Might be completely wrong. Oh, I'm running the wrong code. Very confused for a second. We're on example 7 now. No, it did what we needed it to do. So it read 1, gave us the multiple of 3, got 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, ending with 30. So this code does in fact work, but it is written differently than the way the book would have you write it. So in the book, I'm just gonna write out exactly what they have. So I'm gonna write this a little slightly different. I'm gonna say this is times underscore 3, and this is equal to an empty bracket And under this, the for statement is for time in range. And then we have 1 through 11. And then this, grab the colon. This is written out basically the same as that. So I'm gonna say this one is 3's is equal to value times 3, and then they write it out as 3's dot append to times, I believe. Or yeah, this is times. Or this is the name of the list. So this is times underscore 3's dot append 3's. Right, and then come over here and say print times underscore 3. So if we save this, now we run it again. That's wrong. So if we run it again, it gives us just a bunch of 30s, and I'm wondering why. I'm gonna pause and be right back. I can't pause. Series equal to empty list for value in range 1 through 11. 3's equal value times 3 times 3 dot append 3's and value. Oh, here we go. Times. So if we save that, I had it written wrong. So now it gives us a list with the multiples of 3. And then, yep, use a for loop. So I think the way that the example is worded is a little confusing. So what I did was I made a list out of the actual range, and then I had a for statement to print out everything in that range. Whereas what the example that they have written out in the book when they're explaining things creates a list out of the range, which then is multiplied and then appended into the list. So that gives us this. And then it tells it to print the list. So this is the list that it gives. So I think this might be what it wanted, but this is what it was worded as. So either or, they both work. If you're just wanting to print the list out and not the individual numbers, this way would be correct. And if you wanted to print out the numbers and not necessarily the list, this way would be correct. So 2 different answers, same solution, just slightly different outputs depending on which one you want. So this was a good example of me leaving in my mistakes for you guys to see. That way you guys don't fall into the same pitfalls that my brain obviously would fall into. So I hope this helped you guys, and if it did, give this video a like, share it with people, subscribe if you really want. I'll see you guys in the next one.